Hello, hello. It's time to look at the Warlock achievement, which does mean stepping into the Zerg faction. Dietary restriction: destroy 15 and then 30 friendly locations with consume. Now, I will say that this is literally just cast the spell over and over. If you don't do anything to advance it, you can get it in as little as 15 games. We're going to try to do a little bit better than that, but we're not going to go crazy over it. So, what I'm going to call the core of this deck is actually almost half the deck because we need locations to consume as well as consume. So, we've got consume, we've got the spawning pool, the Ultralisk Cavern, Forge of Wills, and the Prison of Yogg-Saron, uh, all for the possibility of being consumed. And we have what I call my my cast this spell package, which is deputy dry scale deputy, metronome, and gaslight gatekeeper. And what that does is I'm gonna have a bunch of one cost cards in the deck. So if I get a metronome, I can play a metronome alongside with a one cost to guarantee the dry scale deputy as early as possible. So the dry scale deputy itself or the metronomes, that's four cards targeting getting the dry scale deputy. And then I do have the gaslight gatekeeper, which I can cast once I have cast both dry scale deputies. And then that way I will be able to get um, both get value out of both of them. And I just won't cast my last consume until I've cast uh, dry scale deputy, and possibly shuffled if I need to. So we ideally, but up to we'll be able to get up to um, 4 progress in a game, and then wanting a bunch of my deck to be one cost is probably not that hard with Zerg, but I do also want to be aware, like I learned in my last video, I may be going up against Zergs. I will need some amount of like survivability as well, something to keep myself alive versus the aggression of other Zerg players. So I'll have to figure that part out, and I'll be right back when I do. Okay, I'm going with 8 1 drops naturally in the deck. So I've got the Zerglings, the Spawning Pools, the Consumes, which are the only spell, and excuse me, Chaotic Tendrils. Now, Chaotic Tendril play can be dangerous. Um, it could ruin what we're doing, or I mean, those spells could ruin our day anyway. But one positive thing about them for what we're trying to do is that the Chaotic Tendril package is also secret 1 drops hidden in our deck. So the Tentacle Tender is another 1 drop every turn that it lasts, which probably won't be that long. The Eyes of Chaos are 2 more Chaotic Tendrils. And these could be ways, since we're not having other spells in our deck, these could be ways to help control the board a little bit. But also I've got ETC, and in the band I have a Goldan's Gift in case what I really need is a Mortal Coil, Siphon Soul, or Twisting Nether. A Bob the Builder, which has been getting used against me and can be quite infuriating, so maybe I need to have access to it myself, perhaps in case of a giant starship on their side. Or, if it's a little bit later in the game, maybe I want Yogg-Saron. Could also be used for a giant starship, or could be used for a ton of tendrils, or could potentially be used to just clear their board. So, some decent options inside the ETC there. And then, of course, a few Zerg options, leaving out the Nidus Worm because that is a spell which could interfere with the deputies getting more copies of Consume, and leaving out the Spine Crawler, which is a 2 cost which would interfere with Metronome grabbing the dry scale deputy. So all this together, There is not nearly as much board control as I would like, but not putting spells in makes that more difficult. I did put in some mess makers, which hopefully will help a little bit. But other than that, I'm mostly relying on tendrils and some of my higher cost options to deal with the board. Um, Certainly, once Kerrigan comes down, that's helpful as well. But ultimately, I'm not really sure how this is going to run. Could be some chaos involved. Let's make it. Let's see what happens.
Gul'dan versus the Lich King!
All will serve me in death. Know the true essence of fear.
And of course, Death Knight. I definitely don't need a Gatekeeper very early. Um, I'm happy to drop a Chaotic Tendril on turn 1 and to drop this thing on turn 3. But I would. Uh, Actually, you know what? I really just want the Metronome or the Dry Scale.
One dose solves any problem.
Now, with Consume, for it to count for the achievement, it does need to destroy the location. So I do need to actually use these until they're down to 1. I don't need to
The citadel stands strong.
save every single location because we are only possibly planning on getting 1. But next turn we can get ourselves a Dry Scale Deputy already.
One and two and three and four and
Ha!
Job's done.
Shout it from the mountaintop!
Of course.
I'm the snake in your boot. The citadel stands strong.
And unfortunately, I couldn't really keep that location hanging around as opposed to getting the 8. Well, I guess Consume would have gotten the 8/8 tusk as well. Oh. Look at that. Kerrigan doesn't even kill anything anymore. And in fact, I am dead on board. This does bring me out of dead on board, but yeah, this is the only thing I can do that makes me not completely dead on board.
Eight combatants enter, and I take the crown.
I have but little time.
And that was the only way I was going to make any progress on the achievement. Um, I'm still dead on board here. Yeah, as soon as I wasn't able to kill the infector, I knew I was just gonna die. So, I did the best I could there. Like, I have been seeing almost nothing but Death Knight Zerg on the ladder. So, I think that's just going to make these achievements a lot harder than they otherwise would be. And I'm kind of annoyed by that. I think the Death Knight Zerg, I think the like whether they were anticipated or not, I think the synergies there are too fast and too strong. And I I actually hope that some of those things get nerfed soon. Um or maybe instead of trying to get up to 4 progress in a game, maybe I really need to drop the dry scale deputy and play a more standard Zerg deck and consume where I can and focus on being able to kill or even silence. You know what? I'm going to try this again. Okay, here's my updated deck. I still have consume and all 4 of the locations that it's possible to have. So that's Spawning Pool, Ultralisk Cavern, Forge of Wills, and Prison of Yogg Sarong. I've got all those. I did put in all of the Zerg cards that are available to me, and then I focused on ways to disrupt what I've been seeing. And what that basically means is Royal Librarian and goddamn brewmasters for the Royal Librarian. You stop with your infectors. And beyond that, mind control techs, Sylvanas, uh, Yogg-Saron Unleashed, Nomelia, Kerrigan, of course, and Photographer Fizzle. So it will still be possible to get more than 2 progress on consume within a game if it works out. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try this and see if this does any better.
Reform versus Akama.
I am Rafa, the supreme salesman!
And of course, it's not a Death Knight for once. Um, I mean, all of this seems fine, I guess.
In the rear with the gear.
Ready for dust off.
Oh, we do have a consume in hand, so I'll go with the location.
Battle cruiser operational.
Ready for dust off.
I think I'll go with this location as well.
Job done.
That's not really what I wanted.
Oh, have you filled out the paperwork?
Okay, those are not bad. I will put out this location. And I will consume this one, which the death rattle does still activate, and I get to do that. And then, oh, I should have done that before I attacked. So, order, but I still get to clear their board. And now I have 2 other locations that are at 1 in case I draw the other consume.
Ready to plunder.
More wishes? No way!
Let's just put these out. They've got to deal with that. You know, it's kind of funny.
Inside voices, please.
If you silence a starship piece, It's no longer a starship piece. I've got more. Oh, and I'm out of I'm got too many cards in my hand now.
Raven online.
In the rear with the gear. I have too many cards as it is.
Hmm.
Chaos? Yes, chaos. Quiet down. Time's running out. No room for more minions. How dare this game limit my evil? No room for more minions. How dare this game limit my evil?
Battle cruiser operational.
Sure.
My eyes have flame, my cursed name.
What did that pull? Oh, wow. That's brutal. And this is going to give me another card, so I will not draw.
Got no patience for sitting around.
Battle cruiser operational.
Let's make it count.
see what we get here. Do get consume. So, do want to take a snapshot.
Time's running out. Got no patience for sitting around.
You want a piece of me, boy?
That was a good spell.
You want a piece of me, boy?
I will go ahead. Well, actually, no, because I I don't have enough space in my hand to want to do that. Well, I guess I'll do that after all.
Action. Pat. Perfection.
Oh, there goes the snapshot. Won't be getting any more consumes. But I can do that and then finish them off.
All right, I'm out.
Well, I had not looked ahead to what the achievements are, and um I accidentally got progress on Fungus Among Us from Death Knight by using random Zerg minions from the Broodmothers. So that happened, but in the meantime, I now have 3 progress on Dietary Restriction. I had 1 from the previous game. I think I learned a little something, which is that it is not going to be sufficient to try to maximize possible progress in a game, I'm going to have to focus more on actually surviving and trying to maybe even win these games, because if I focus too much on getting achievement progress, I'm just gonna die. Now, thankfully, like I said in the very beginning, 30 isn't all that much. And I think there will be plenty of time to reach these goals if I only make one or two progress in a game. Um, but yeah, I think I have successfully altered my expectations for what's to come, and I think that will make my next upcoming decks that much better. See you next time. Have a good one.